Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of RedReadyman. In this episode we're going to be taking a look at the Flying Cup and what I think the meta will pan out to be. Now you're going to have to bear with me because this is the first time that I've tried to do something like this, and as my ELO is proving, I am not the best PvPer in the world. But I am quite good at research, so I've done heaps of research. And I've looked at what the core, I believe, is going to be of this Flying Cup. I believe every single one of the 100 matches you will see an Aerodactyl. The Flying Rock type is fairly unique, and I think Archon is the only other Flying Rock, and it's pretty awful. But Aerodactyl, I think, will be all over this meta. I think also we're going to be seeing a lot of Skarmory. So Skarmory is very much just a good Pokemon. Like, it's just really good. We know that it's good in Open Great League, and I don't see that being any different with this. Now, we are going to see perhaps a little bit more of Zapdos and Emolga. That electric flying typing is very strong. My advice would be to stay away from Emolga, even if you have one. Zapdos is definitely going to be the stronger of those electric types, and I think we'll be seeing quite a few of those kicking around, and because of that I think we'll see quite a lot of water. So Mantine is definitely number one in the meta with a battle rating of 93.5. That debuff power of Bubble Beam, along with Bubble, which is pretty powerful, and Ice Beam for coverage, so ice and flying, well, that's going to be a great mix. I've chucked in Pelipper and Gyarados in there as well, just as a little bit more of a spicier pick, because I think that there is some play there. But if you have a Mantine is definitely the way to go if you want to have that water coverage. Down in the bottom right there, I've put Articuno. Articuno is particularly good against things like Altaria, and also that ice typing is particularly good for the fly-in. And then I put some more spicier ones, and they're not really spicy, they're more of a Korma than a Madras, but we've got Driftblim. Driftblim is got that debuff, got that Icy Wind. Do not go anywhere near the Shadow Ball, there is no need, just keep throwing Icy Winds if you're going to be going with Driftblim. I've got Charizard on there, and I think Charizard I've mainly gone for the coverage against Skarmory, so that fire typing. You can also go with Dragon Breath, which Dragon Breath we know is way OP, and a good coverage. Personally, I would go Fire Spin, and then you've got coverage for Articuno. The Dragon typing will, you don't get Dragon typing, so it's just Fire typing. It's only the Mega you get the Dragon typing. And then there on the left, I've put Togekiss, and I think Togekiss just has some general decent coverage. So let's take a look into PV Poke. So Mantine, if we take a look at Mantine here, Mantine is going to have key wins against Skarmory, Aerodactyl, so two key ones that I've said in there. Altaria, which I think we'll see a lot of, Togekiss, as well, and Aerodactyl Shadow. It will take some losses against Zapdos. Looks like Zapdos normal will be better in this situation than Shadow. He will lose to Emolga as well, Articuno and Dragonite. So Mantine is definitely going to be an important Pokemon. They have rated Emolga higher than Zapdos. I personally feel that Zapdos will have more play, but only if you have that Thunder Shock, and it is you are going to need to spend an Elite TM to get that. Aerodactyl, so the Shadow, slightly more overpowered than the regular one. Key wins: Altaria, Zapdos, Articuno. Key losses: Skarmory and Mantine, and we've already said we're going to see a lot of Skarmory and Mantine. So let's take a look at Skarmory normal here. So key wins against Aerodactyl, Altaria, Togekiss, Articuno. But again, losing to Mantine and Zapdos, and also Mandibuzz making it into that one as well. So recommending Steel Wing, Brave Bird and Sky Attack. Brave Bird, you have to remember, does lower your defences. It's probably a last-minute move. But I think we will be seeing a lot of Skarmorys out there. Mandibuzz, as I said, I think he's a little bit more spicy, but not super spicy. Is fairly open to Togekiss, Articuno, Mantine, Zapdos, Altaria. Got some coverage there for Aerodactyl and Skarmory, which is very interesting and could potentially be a safe swap. If you're kind of cornered with something not so good. I personally don't have a Mandibuzz built and ready to go. It's fairly new, and I don't really have good IVs that was worth spending on. So Altaria kind of keeps coming up in here, and its key wins are against the electrics here, but he's massively weak to 3 of the Pokemon I think you're going to see the most, and in fact 4 of them with Articuno as well, and I dare say we'll see some shadows. So my advice would be to stay away from Altaria. I don't think Altaria is the play for this cup. Dragon Breath, of course, is OP, and we love Dragon Breath on Altaria, and it will do chip damage on pretty much everything, and it won't get hard walled. But I think it's one to stay away from personally. Articuno, I do like Articuno. I think it does have some big losses though with Skarmory, Aerodactyl, and Zapdos. But I like the Icy Wind. I like that you can get the debuff and then come and mop up with somebody else and take less damage. So potentially some play there, but I have one powered up, but I don't think I'll be using it either. Gyarados is the one that I felt was a little bit spicy, and this is only because of Aqua Tail. Do not run Dragon Breath Gyarados in this one. It's just there's me saying that it's an OP move, but actually I feel that Waterfall will have an awful lot more play here, purely because of that Skarmory Aerodactyl kind of core that he's going to be existing in most of the teams. Not really hard, Zapdos is probably its hardest counter there that you're going to see more of. So Gyarados got some play. We've all got decent PvPs because of recent community days. Togekiss here, key wins against Altaria, Zapdos, Honchkrow, Salamence. We're not going to be seeing Honchkrow and Salamence very much, I don't think. But again, very big losses here. I think it's a very risky play just for coverage on Zapdos, and there is better coverage for the electrics in there. And as I put in my outliers, Drifblim, some great wins against Skarmory and key wins against Togekiss and Gligar. But there's not enough there to look at that key losses side of the page and just go, no, that's not for me, Clive. Pelipper, if you don't have a Mantine, then maybe Pelipper is a play, but you're losing to Aerodactyl, you're losing to Mantine, you're losing to Zapdos, you're losing to Articuno. If we go back to the Mantine pairing here, you're taking Skarmory, Aerodactyl, Altaria. I don't think Pelipper really has a play in this cup. I think it's going to be a very small meta. I don't think there's going to be a lot outliers from here. You may see some Dragonites because people like Dragonites. You might see Charizards. You might see Togetix. But I don't see anything here that I'm kind of going, we might see some of these come into the cup. Bravery was one that I was looking at because I thought it could have some interesting coverage, but it's interesting coverage about stuff that isn't going to come up. I really like the idea of that neutral damage from normal typing, but not enough there at all, and these you really don't want to be looking at. Archon was that other rock flying type that I was talking about and does great against bugs, but you're not going to be seeing bugs. You're going to be seeing Aerodactyl, Skarmory's, Mantine, Zapdos and Altarius, so one to stay away from. I hope that's interesting. I hope that brings you some ideas for your team. I will be streaming on the day from 6 p.m. UK time right through until I've done all of my battles and wrapping up. So I am going to try and do all 100. So if you are doing your sets, come sit and do your sets with me and we can chat and just have me on in the background. Really fun to have you along. But what are you still doing here? Let's go, Pogo.